In the beginning, the kingdoms of the tablelands were at peace, and the lands prospered. But as the armies of the two kingdoms grew, the clouds of war brewed. Both kingdoms raised armies of peasants and defensive towers. They readied legions of spearmen, heavily armoured swordsmen, elite cavalry, and ships of war. Both kingdoms had a thirst for power and sought glory and valour on the field of battle. Both sides sought war, but in the end, there can only be one victor. Welcome to Knights of the Table, Clash of Two Kingdoms. Knights of the Table, Clash of Two Kingdoms is a strategic modular board game for two players. The game combines the elements of traditional board games, card games and tile-laying games to create a unique gaming experience that is both dynamic and strategically challenging. The game has 10 different types of armies and navies, each with their own strengths and weaknesses. Peasant armies have limited abilities in movement and defence, but due to the lack of availability of other armies, peasant armies are still useful and need to be used wisely. Spearmen represent agile armies with strong defensive abilities and an attacking bonus against cavalry. Archers are extremely valuable, both for their abilities to attack enemies at range and for their ability to assist other armies attack the enemy. Swordsmen have strong defensive abilities as well as an attacking bonus against a number of other army types. Skirmishers are limited in terms of defense and mobility. However, they make up for these limitations by being able to use both ranged and melee attacks. The heavy cavalry is the strongest army type in the game. It is highly mobile and has both strong offensive and defensive abilities. Light cavalry have strong defensive capabilities and are the only armies in the game with the ability to jump. Generals give strong defensive support to other armies and also provide a means for adding reserve armies onto the board. Towers are totally immobile throughout the game, but have excellent defensive capabilities. Towers also provide another useful means for placing reserve armies onto the board. Navies are able to move long distances and are the only pieces on the board capable of moving on water squares. The game setup typically only takes a couple of minutes, whilst gameplay typically takes 1 to 3 hours, depending on the skill of the players, though it is noted that it's possible to win the game in only 2 moves. The game has been specifically designed as a strategy game. For this reason, the unique battle mechanisms of the game are completely dependent on strategy, army placement, and the orientation of armies' defences. In other words, there is no luck, dice, or mathematical formulas. There are 8 distinct types of building tiles that players can use to build upgrades. Each upgrade provides a different benefit. Some upgrades provide a means to enhance the ability of different armies. Some upgrades allow a player tactical advantages, such as the ability to take tiles from the other player's tile rack, or to recruit and control mercenary armies, whilst other upgrades provide strategic benefits such as increasing the value of a town and therefore decreasing the number of towns a player needs to control to win the game. There are 3 different types of espionage cards in the game, which allow a player to move, remove and swap tiles that are on the board. Espionage cards can both help a player to build upgrades and can be used to prevent the opposing player from building upgrades. Additionally, espionage cards can be used to collapse sections of the board. There are 3 different types of engineering tiles in the game: wall tiles, river tiles and abattis tiles. Engineering tiles change the tactical layout of the board as they can restrict the movement of armies. Additionally, river tiles can be used to allow the movement of navies into the interior of the land section of the board. Engineering tiles can be used in both a defensive and offensive manner, in that they can be used to prevent an army from attacking, or they can be used to box an army in, making that army easy to capture. We hope you have enjoyed watching this presentation on Knights of the Table, Clash of Two Kingdoms. Knights of the Table, Clash of Two Kingdoms, coming to Kickstarter soon.